absolute steaming pile of wank. Is this what Manchester United has come to? What a fucking calamity, lads and lasses. Seriously. Seriously, another game. It feels like I'm making these videos every single game now. United have just drawn in a board draw 0-0 at home against Valencia in the Champions League. What an absolute double daymare from us today, seriously. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. I actually fell asleep during that second half. That's how freaking gash-tastic we are, so feeling a little groggy now. Feeling a little groggy, I'm going to be honest with you, but... where do I even begin? No urgency, no tempo, no desire. There's no desire at Manchester United. What is it with you bunch of players? This bunch of overpaid prima donna wank chopsers. That's what they are. We're talking Alexis Sanchez, the Chilean Bruno Mars impersonator himself. What is his deal, man? He's on $500,000 a week. He's literally the worst player on the pitch most of the time when he plays. I don't understand how he can go from being such a top quality player at Arsenal to being some sort of imposter at Manchester United, some sort of Bruno Mars wannabe. It's like we've got Bruno Mars playing out there on the pitch, except that he's got no bloody twinkle toes. No, he's just shit at football. Lukaku couldn't hit a barn door. He couldn't hit a barn door for Manchester United right now. What happened to Romelu of old? What happened to the Everton striker that we paid 80 million for? What happened to this tosspot? He's disappeared, man. He's lucky that he's got prima donna dickheads around him, like Sanchez, like Paul Pogba, stinking up the place. He's lucky because it takes the emphasis off of just how shite Romelu Lukaku actually is. He's lucky. Oh, I mean, where do we start with the actual tactics? Where do we start with the display? Jose Mourinho! It's time for you to go, you Portuguese Mr. Bean Bell! It's time for you to go, mate, honestly. You can't get this United side playing a bit more attractive football than that, creating more than that. 4 chances, 4 on target in that whole entire game at home. Manchester United, you want bloody shooting, pal. It's unbelievable how shit United are at the moment, and it's all from this guy. It's all from the Silver Goblin himself, Jose Mourinho. Because it's his tactics, it's his style. The team are playing such slow, drab football. Why are we incapable of making stuff happen? I just don't understand. We've got a team full of attacking talents, full of very experienced players, full of supposed world-class players like Paul Pogba. Yet Jose Mourinho's getting the very least out of them possible. I'm sorry, he's lost the team. He has. He's lost it now. I don't understand how we can look forward to Manchester United progressing under Jose Mourinho. No, I don't. He's lost me as a fan. He seems to have lost the team and the players out there because they don't feel comfortable playing the defensive, shackling, god-awful style that he wants them to play. They don't look comfortable doing it. This doesn't look like any type of Manchester United side I've ever seen in my life. And it doesn't help that he's got that freaking bog brush Moran Fellaini starting the game with Matic in there, Twatic in there. How negative do you want to be, Jose Mourinho? It's like you've assembled a team of the biggest prima donna dickheads we've got at the club at the moment. Oh, let's just reward Sanchez for being a Bruno Mars wannabe. Let's award Lukaku for being absolutely gash-tastic. Let's award Pogba for being part of the Pogba-Bogbrush duo. Let's award these twats for not being able to kick a ball. What you should have done, Jose, is got rid of these melters out of the club, dropped every single one of these overpaid, overhyped, over-freaking sexed, whatever they are, dickheads, and get them out of the starting lineup tonight. At least I would have admired that mentality. I would have admired giving a go, giving youth an opportunity, giving Pereira a nod instead of Pogba or something, or, taking that Belgian off the pitch and just allowing Rashford up there. I know Rashford was Gashford, but what I'm saying is you're rewarding these awfully overpaid players for terrible performances by allowing them to play the next game. And it shouldn't be the case at Manchester United. We shouldn't even have these players performing this consistently badly. But the fact is you should be dropping these players, playing attacking football. Let's go for it, lads. You're young. You've got stuff to prove. Let's go out there, see what we can do. Be expressive. Express yourself. But no, Jose, the Silver Goblin from Portugal, has to slow everything down. We have to play this negative defensive style of football. Well, we're barely feeding Lukaku at the top there. And I'm sorry, even when we do feed him, he's spitting it back out. This Lukaku Frankenstein's monster's absolute garbage monster at the moment. Everything he touches turns to shite. And I'm sorry, he's not getting the service that he would like. I'm sure he's not. Definitely not. He cannot be happy with the service that he's getting. He's making these runs. The balls aren't coming into him. The balls aren't freaking coming into Lukaku, man. Why is that happening? Why is our striker not getting the service required? And why, when he does get the service, can he not hit the fucking target, man? What is going on with this team, seriously? Jack Gallagher comments and says, it's the ghost of David Moyes. Forget about the ghost of David Moyes. We've got the Portuguese version of David Moyes in charge of the club. What is it with this style that Jose Mourinho persists with? Don't give the fans anything then, Jose, you prick. Just whimper out of your managerial career then. Just whimper out, pal. Whimper off and die, pal. Why would you do that when you could go out in a blaze of glory at the very least? Why not make a fist of it? Why not go for it? Why not tell these players that your bloody job's on the line and to go out there and express it and attack? Why not do that? I'm sorry, but we are United. I know the days are gone when we had Sir Alex and we were this dominant attacking team. I know the days are gone, but at least have a go at it. You've got other teams in the league, for instance, or shitter teams like Bournemouth or whoever are doing really well. They play attacking football. They go for it. They've got a good style about them. Why is that, Jose? How many Champions Leagues have you got, you dick? 3? I don't know how you got any of them, mate, because based on your managerial tactics and everything that's been displayed this season, you're the luckiest manager in the game. You're the luckiest manager in the game because you can't get a team full of quality players performing better than that shower of shite we saw out there tonight. He's incapable of getting anything better out this side. I don't get it. We used to have Sir Alex Ferguson who would turn water into wine. We had Darren Fletcher, who was like the best player in the world or something at the time when Sir Alex was his manager. Obviously not, but he was like this average player. But for some reason under Sir Alex, he was amazing. Same goes for so many other players. Man, I'm just I'm just absolutely gutted with the way Manchester United are playing at the moment. The negativity surrounding the club, the lack of confidence the players have out there, the style, more importantly for me, is what is driving us into the ground. That's what's making me feel so bad. It's just the fact that United aren't an attacking force anymore. We don't have a manager who's got some bottle to just go for it in big Champions League nights like that. I think it was the first time in a very long time you could buy tickets on the gate tonight at Old Trafford, and that tells you absolutely everything. And I feel sorry for the people that did actually go there and pay the money and go and watch that absolute dreary, awful performance from Manchester United. And no, I don't feel sorry for them, because they've got to go there and support the team, and it could have been a good game. But Jose's not giving the fans good value for money at the moment. He's really not, because his style is shackling this United side. We've got the players in there, but they can't perform. You're talking about Lukaku was one of the best strikers at the World Cup. Paul Pogba was one of the best midfielders at the World Cup. Why, when they come back and play for Manchester United, do they look like they've just come back from some sort of fishing holiday or something instead of the World Cup? I don't understand it, where they got like 3rd place for the biggest cup. Do you know what I mean? They're useless out there. It looks like they haven't even played football for 6 months. I don't get it. Jose, you're a prick. You're a Silver Goblin Portuguese Mr. Bean wannabe, and you are absolutely toxic at this club now. You are. I'm sorry. I hate to say it because I wanted him to be successful. I hate to go against Gary Neville and say, it's not the manager. It comes from, higher up and all that stuff, and that's true. But at the end of the day, he's got to motivate this team. He's got to get the best out of it. He's got to get us playing a certain way that is actually effective but also entertaining. Also, at least go for it, I'm sorry, I really thought he had more guile and bottle than this, Jose. You're a little bitch, aren't you? Why have you got United whimpering out of games? Why don't you get us set up more attacking? I just don't understand it. I really don't understand it. I'm sick and tired of it, lads. I really am. And I'm a bit grouchy from my nap as well, so that probably doesn't help. But I'm sorry, how can he keep going on like this? It doesn't look like we're getting any better under Jose Mourinho. He's had 3 years or 2.5 years or 2 and a bit years, whatever it is. This is his 3rd year. He's had hundreds of millions to spend over his career so far. Maybe not in the last window. You should have assembled a decent team by then anyway, Silver Goblin. Do you know what I mean? Why is he incapable of changing United's fortunes at the moment, of changing the style, of giving these players some confidence, of motivating these players, of getting Alexis Sanchez, who's on £500,000 a week, playing like he is actually a professional footballer? He's finished at United, in my opinion, Alexis Sanchez. I'm sick of you, pal. I don't want to see you anywhere near a Manchester United shirt for a very long time, because based on the amount of money you're on, I'd rather spend that money a lot more effectively. That's a lot of money, couple of £1 million a month being sucked out of Manchester United. And for what? And for what? so Sanchez can buy another Lamborghini or whatever he does. I mean, it pisses me off. It really does. Everybody tuning in right now to this live match reaction rant, sorry I'm not in a very good mood. I'm sure you guys are not in a very good mood, unless you're a pissing scouser, in which case do one. Verbal Kint comments and says, Sanchez was the worst player on the pitch. Big D comments, Sanchez is in decline. He must be in decline. This is a huge decline from the player that we thought we were signing from Arsenal. He's an unbelievable Alexis Sanchez FC player over there, the best team by a mile, best player on the team by a mile when he was at Arsenal. But when he comes over here, it's like he's just transferred over into some alternate reality. It's like we've got some prat from a different dimension who looks like Alexis Sanchez, but has not been a professional footballer his entire life. No, he's actually been a seamstress or something, and we've just somehow warped him into this reality, and now he's playing at Old Trafford for fuck's sake. He's useless. He's absolutely useless. I don't get it. He was so good at Arsenal, wasn't he? He was so good. That's why you would sign a player on a free and pay him $500,000 a week, because you expect to get some value for money out of him. You expect him to still be that match winner. And Jose can only do so much. I know I've absolutely torn Jose Mourinho apart in this, because it is all coming from the manager, from the top down. But Sanchez, hang your head in shame, mate. Seriously. What is going on? What's going on with these players? It's like the higher they are paid in money at Manchester United, the shitter they are. The more money that they earn, the shitter they are, and the less that they try. That's what it seems like. I've had enough of all of them. Drop them all, and let some real players have a go. Let some youth players have a go who might actually be fighting for the shirt, who might actually be fighting for their careers, who might have that hunger and passion and desire to actually represent Manchester United. Let's actually do that, Jose. Let's not keep faith in these absolute overpaid melts just because they got a name. No, I don't want to see that anymore. Fucking jokes. Ahmad Spats comments, I have not watched Man United this season before this match, and I thought their form has been totally over-exaggerated by the media. But holy fuck, United are proper shite at the moment. Do you know what as well, mate, Ahmed? Thank you for your comment, Ahmed. Neutral fan getting in the house here. Thanks so much. That's probably better than the last two performances as well. Against West Ham and against Derby County, that was better. At least there are a couple of moments where we did get the ball forward and we did play a bit of decent football for a short spell of 5 minutes during that fucking game against Valencia. At least there was that, which was better than the last couple of games. So yeah, I'm not surprised, mate. If you've not seen Man United play well, then you're lucky, because it's been a lot worse than that so far this season. It really is. Wakas Akram comments and says, absolutely disgraceful performance again. Seems to be the general consensus. It was another disgraceful performance. I don't get it. This Jose Mourinho United side goes down in history for me as one of the very worst Manchester United sides I've ever witnessed. There's no zip, there's no urgency, there's no pressure, there's no bottle out there. They're just a bunch of overpaid losers who are just uncomfortable playing with each other. They look like a bunch of strangers assembled together. And that all comes from Jose. It does. The tactics, the style, it's all depressing, it's all defensive, it's all slow and drab and dreary, and loads of other things beginning with D. So, yeah, it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. Tobias Beisel comments and says, United solution, Fellaini, Crouch and Andy Carroll. Jeepers creepers, man. I mean, Jose does like his big players. I wouldn't put it past him. Lump it up to those tossers. He'd probably love that. VK Dean comments and says, mate, I informed you thusly about Jose, didn't I? Quicker he goes, the better. Fair play to you, VK Dean. I was blind in my support of Jose Mourinho. I was looking at his actual previous record when we first appointed him as manager at Manchester United, expecting him to go on and be successful for Manchester United. I didn't think he was going to get United playing this fantastic attacking style. No, I thought he would be a defensive-minded manager, because that's what he is. But he's always been defensive and effective. But not at Manchester United. Not this season, anyway. It's not happening for Jose United. The sooner the board realise that, the better. The sooner they give him his walking papers and ship him off back to Portugal. Finally, he can check out that hotel, prick. I mean, what's that about? I keep going on about it, but he still lives in a hotel, this man. He is actually Portuguese Mr. Bean, isn't he? He doesn't even have the decency to get a home in Manchester or around Manchester. No, he knows it's a short-term deal. Come on. It was always a short-term thing, Jose coming in. He's living in a fucking hotel. Surely it's a short-term thing. Do you know what I mean? Who does that? Fact is, 3 years were probably what we were going to get from Jose. Let's cut it short, lads and lasses. Let's cut it short and get rid of him now. Give the opportunity to somebody else who might actually be able to come and steer this ship in the right direction before we sink like the Titanic down there. We've hit an iceberg. We're drowning. We need somebody to come and bail us out. Is it going to be that monk, that bald monk, Zinedine Zidane? Is it going to be Mr. Manchester United himself, Ryan Giggs? I don't know. I don't care. Somebody come in and save us. We need somebody in a lifeboat. Is there anybody alive out there? That's Zidane, and he's coming to save us. I think, anyway. I don't know. But the fact is, Jose, he's the captain with the grey beard, in Titanic, who's going down with the ship. He's going down with the ship. He's not even prepared to fight and bail water out the ship. No, he's just prepared to sink. He's going back into his freaking cockpit or the bridge or control room or whatever the fuck it's called on a boat. I don't know. I'm not nautical. But it's gone back in there and he's waiting for the windows to smash in and all the water to pour in on him. Do you like my Titanic analogy? It's true. It's freaking true. And Alexis Sanchez is Kate Winslet. It's absolutely gastastic, isn't it? I mean, come on. What the hell? Ali Rashidi comments, Pig, you're a better player than any of Man United's team. I'm sorry if you put me out there instead of Sanchez or Lukaku. Do you know what the difference would be? Not very much. Maybe there'd be a little bit more commitment from me, though. Yeah, exactly. Rohit Pandey comments and says, Juventus beat them with 10 men. Goes to show how shite we are, and they beat them well as well. Manchester United, hang your heads in shame. This is a shadow of the team that we know. It really is. So I'm just going to have a little sip of my coffee here. And I know what you're saying. Why are you drinking coffee at 10:30 at night? I told you I just woke up from a nap. I'm feeling groggy. Cantonar7 comments and says, we've signed Sanchez's brother. Yeah, that's so true, mate. We've literally signed like an alternate version of Sanchez. We've signed his twin brother that nobody's known about, that's like locked away in an attic, kind of like Bart Simpson's twin brother, just living off fish heads in the freaking attic for years. And suddenly they needed Alexis Sanchez on some secret Chilean mission, so they've done a little switcheroo on us, and we've been left with that bug. You can't kick a ball to save his life. Chambers says Sanchez robot. VK Dean, Sanchez is the new Rooney. He's definitely declining, isn't he? He's got over that hill of 30 years of age and now he's just gone swiftly down it. I said it in my last video as well. What motivation does he have? He doesn't love Manchester United. He's not a boyhood fan of Manchester United. This is his last destination, his last stop on his career path. This is the last payday that he's got. He's getting £500,000 a week. What more does he want? He gets that regardless of how he plays. These players should have to sign a contract based on performance, I think. I'm sick of them. They just don't even turn up. They really don't. Mojo Khan comments, Matic and Fellaini in midfield. WTF. How negative do you want to be, Jose Mourinho? Seriously, this is your opportunity to instill a bit of belief and instill a bit of flair into the side. Go for it. What sort of confidence does that give the side when you've got those two freaking static Frankensteins in the midfield there? I mean, it stops our link from defence into attack. It slows everything down. Yes, we might be solid defending set pieces and attacking set pieces because we've got those two lummoxes on there. But it's not creative. It's not Manchester United. It's not the Manchester United way. We need a little wizard in there picking people off with passes and threading balls through and passing the ball around. Something like a Scholesy or something. I'd have much rather seen Pereira start the game. Or, just something a bit more attacking, a bit more confident from us. Not set up defensively. But this is Jose Mourinho's teams we're talking about. They're always defensive. The only difference between this team and previous Jose teams is this one's defensively shite. They used to be defensively good. This one's shite. I know we didn't concede tonight. That's a bloody miracle. But we also created very little clear-cut chances anyway. Gashford, Lukaku poop. Do you know what I mean? Sanchez, come on, let's think of a good one for Sanchez. Freaking Alexis, Bruno Mars. I don't know, I can't think of something that would work. Alex Rudd comments and says, Sanchez, our payback for Van Persie. Oh dear. Alex, I don't like that name very much at the moment, Alex, because Alexis starts with it. It's a sickening name, but thank you very much for your comment and your super chat there, Alex Rudd. He's right, he's an Arsenal fan. Maybe it is our payback from the Van Persie deal. We got an absolute gem there. They've got rid of an absolute shitter declining player and palmed him off onto us. That's what it seems like. I'm disgusted by it. I really am. He needs to be dropped. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a gas issue here. He needs to be dropped. He needs to figure it out. If he can't perform, There's no point paying this mug £500,000. The sad thing is, with the way football contracts are right these days, you can't even really get rid of the prick unless you want to pay him about £16.2 million in compensation. Or I don't know how long his contract is, but he's on a ridiculous amount of money. And the fact of the matter is, he doesn't look committed to the cause. He doesn't look like the same player we thought we were signing. He will probably just dwindle off now. He will Victor dwindle off into the sunset with his £500,000 a week, and he won't give a shit, lads. He won't give a shit. It's absolutely sickening. What a bunch of pratty mercenary dicks we've got at United these days. Seriously, it is. They're a bunch of mercenaries. They don't care about the club. I'm just sick and tired of them. Paul Pogba, 300k a week. You wouldn't know it. He cares more about his Ponzi hairdo. Lukaku poop, 300k a week. £80 million we paid for him. He's shite. I mean, it's freaking crazy. Chambers comments and says, oh boy, you're angry tonight. I am angry tonight, pal. Can you not tell? United are shit. This is the worst United side I've ever seen in my life. And we spent 300 million fucking pounds in the last couple of years and got this silver goblin in who's supposed to be this great manager and signed a bunch of twats who are supposed to be these great players like Sanchez, like Lukaku, like Pogba for fortunes of money. We signed them for fortunes of money, and what are they doing? What are they doing? They're stinking up the place. Fucking sickening. Viking Red comments, Pig, can we go back to 4-4-2, mate? I'd love to go back to 4-4-2. The days of Sir Alex Ferguson. We knew what we were getting. We played very similar every single week. I mean, not all the time, but it was classic 4-4-2. Sometimes we'd mix it up. Sometimes we'd send Giggsy up there and turn it into a 4-3-3. Sometimes we'd have a 4-4-1, but it was always the team and players knew how we were going to play. They knew the style, they knew the formation, they knew the shape, they knew everything. And that is why it was so effective, because the players actually had a good ground to work on, a good foundation to work on. They're talented players, but they need a good system to really benefit them. And at the moment, you can see the players aren't comfortable with the system that Jose's got us playing. They're not comfortable with the formation. They're comfortable with the selections. They're not comfortable with their roles within the team. You can see that by how clueless Sanchez was tonight. Lukaku, Pogba. They look like a useless bunch of melters. They really do. VK comments, the whole of Europe was watching us there. Geez, I'm embarrassed. I know, that's the thing. These Champions League nights, they really are important in terms of your global profile, certainly around Europe, your European reputation, because people do tune in for these Champions League games. People do watch the Champions League highlights. What highlights were there in that game, honestly? Fucking ridiculous. Alex Rincon says, everyone like, share the video. Very good comment there, Alex. Thank you for backing me up there, mate. Please do us a favour. Chuck a like on this video. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. You won't regret it. You won't regret it, because what we do on this show is dissect how shit Manchester United are and how much of a silver goblin, Mr. Bean, Portuguese wannabe of a manager that Jose Mourinho is. And we will do that until the bitter end, until he goes back to his Portuguese cave and hangs out with Moisey. Chambers comments, how many sugars in that tea, Geese? It's a coffee, Geese. It's a coffee, Geese, late at night. And I've got 2 sugars in there because I'm a real man. None of this sweetener, none of this no sugar. I like a bit of sweetness in my life. I need to get sweetness in my life. You know why? Because all I get served whilst watching Manchester United is a bitter pile of shit. And I need a bit of sweet and sugar in my life, pal. I really do. John Latin comments and says, Sir Alex made Wes Brown look good. He did make Wes Brown look good. He made John O'Shea look good. He made Anderson look good, which is no mean feat. He made Nani look good. He made Alan Smith look good. He made Louis Saha look good. The list goes on of bang average players that Sir Alex got the very best out of. The list goes on and on and on. Jose can't do it. He can't get the best out of better players. Much better players on paper, supposedly. I'm sick of this. They're not good players, are they? They're shit players. Okay, they're good in the World Cup. They're good previously for every club they've ever played for. But they're not good for us. It's the manager, isn't it? It's Jose, isn't it? It's played for everyone to see. They're great for the nations. They're great at Juventus. They were great at Everton. Bring them to United under Jose in this system, and they're shite. It's obviously Jose, isn't it? It's obviously the tactics. It's obviously the style. It's obviously the coaching staff. It's everything, but it's mainly the manager, I think. It is, because these players are quality fucking players, supposedly, on any other pitch, wearing any other shirt. But put them on Old Trafford, put them wearing that red shirt of Manchester United, and they turn into a bunch of invisible melts. Oh, man. Super chat here from Alex Rudd. Sanchez sucked final 6 months at Arsenal. Yeah, there you go. He was bad. He was. He wasn't the Alexis Sanchez at the end of his career like he was, but it was different. Arsenal were melting generally all over. They had Wenger there. It sort of was a similar situation to what's going on right now, actually. But he had a lot of pressure on him because the team was so bad. And he was basically the best player holding it all together. But yeah, you would know better than me, Alex. But even so, even if you did suck for the last few months, you would expect a player who has performed at a very high level consistently for a number of years in the Premier League to be able to go and recreate that form at Manchester United. But he can't do it. He can't do it, man. He really can't. It's an absolutely bitter disappointment this side at the moment. We're a bunch of jokers. We really are. I feel sorry for those fans at Old Trafford tonight. I feel sorry for the people that tuned in to watch that game on a Tuesday night to see a bit of entertainment, because we didn't get it. Once again, Jose Mourinho has us playing negative defensive football. The players don't look happy. The players look in a state of disharmony. And they look like a bunch of strangers out there who could barely kick a ball. It's got that bad. I know we didn't lose tonight, and Valencia are a good side. But come on, United at Old Trafford, we should be ripping them apart. We should at least be having more than 4 shots on target. It's an absolute joke. LJW, Martial is a shit player as well. Yeah, Anthony Farcical, the guy's been useless for us, so inconsistent. We know what he's capable of, just like we know what a lot of these players are capable of, but they're not performing. It's the manager, isn't it? I keep coming back to this. Jose, you're having mares, pal. It really is time. You've got to go, man. I'm sorry, but the board have got to make a decision at some point, because we're not improving. We're not progressing. The only thing I can see happening now is Manchester United declining even more, getting even worse, the players getting in a state of even more discontent and performing even worse, and us trickling to an end of the season finish of somewhere around about 8th or something. And that'll be good. How are we going to challenge for top 4 this season now? With this United side, with this manager, with these players, with these overpaid prima donnas who are so overhyped it's unreal. How are we going to do it? Poisonous Nut comments and says, season is over. League is already out of reach. We won't make it out of the group in UCL. Already out of League Cup. At least my Saturday mornings are free now to do yard work. Oh, Poisonous Nut, you've just summed it up there, mate. Is the season over for Manchester United? Because, like you say, we're going to struggle to challenge for top 4 this season. UCL's not looking good. We've got Juventus a couple of times, who are good, who did beat Valencia with 10 men, and we can beat them with 11 men at home. You know, there's so much wrong with United at the moment, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel. While that Silver Goblin is in charge, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's just a silver glare off his dome. That's all it is. There's no light at the end of the tunnel for this United side, because we have got the most depressing negative manager at the helm that you could possibly imagine. This is no Manchester United manager. No, I don't know what it is. It's just a complete farce. United shouldn't be playing this way. We should be going for it. I'd actually rather have David Moyes in charge right now. I actually would. I'd actually rather Moisey. Right, I mean, there's so many comments coming through here, guys. I really appreciate you getting involved. I hope you're liking the passion tonight. I'm feeling really messed up, actually, because I did have a nap in that second half, and it's just totally screwed me over. You know, when you go to sleep, and you shouldn't have gone to sleep, but you just nod off, and then you wake up, and it feels like you slept for about 100 years, and you're all groggy. That's what I feel like tonight. So, sorry if I'm not on my usual form, or if I'm even angrier than usual, but, you know, you can understand why. Ben Silver with a super chat. Nice to see you around here, Ben, with a cheeky new super chat. Don't think you've ever sent one before. Appreciate it, mate. He says, well, we're well on our way to relegation. Imagine that. But I think mid-table mediocrity is more realistic. But for a club like Manchester United, that is as good as relegation. It really is. And probably not qualifying out of the UCL group. Not realistically. Not unless we batter Juventus twice and, you know, have a bit of fortune elsewhere. I don't see it. I really don't see it. But, you know, maybe we will. But either way, even if we do get out of this group, it will be a stumble across the line. It won't be because we've truly deserved it and truly earned it. It'll be because we've stumbled across. Nicholas Zarbanes comments, a waste of 90 minutes, but the pig makes it worth it. Thank you very much, Nicholas. Love that comment, mate. Appreciate the love. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for stopping by and getting involved. Kumar comments and says, I'm hiring a plane on next game and having banners saying Jose scumbag out. Yeah, they're effective, those banners, aren't they, mate? But no, I totally understand what you mean. We need to do something. We need to do something. The fans need to make our voices heard, because me personally, I don't see how he can turn it around and get this team playing the way we should be. He's had time. He's had plenty of opportunities to try and get us playing attacking. Like I've said in the last however many videos, the result doesn't necessarily matter. It's more about the intent out there. It's more about the style and trying to go for it and trying to win. But he sets up too slow, too negative, too defensive. I mean, you're playing Twatic and Bogbrush in the centre of the park. You know, Trelawney. You're playing Trelawney and Matic. I mean, how immobile do you want the midfield to be, Jose? How negative and defensive do you want it to be? It's laughable. He dropped Sanchez for the last game, but he magically reappears. Don't get it. Why? Why not give opportunities to some younger lads who actually are hungry? That's what I would have done anyway. Jally Tays comments, where is the attacking cohesion? That left with Sir Alex Ferguson, mate, about 8 years ago, whatever it was. That left with Sir Alex. It wasn't that long ago, was it? But yeah. Right, anyway, lads and lasses. Alex Rudd with another super chat. I'll just read these last couple of messages out before I get on my merry way, because this isn't good for my angina. No, I don't actually have angina. That's a bit of a shit joke, actually. Sorry to anybody out there with anginas, but it's making my chest hurt anyway. The stress and anxiety that I'm currently experiencing is through the roof, and it's all based on Manchester United. Alex Rudd comments and says, if Valencia actually had a good striker, you'd lose. I know, yeah, they were defensively quite sound today. They weren't afraid of us. They were happy to play our sort of drab, patient style and be patient against us. And I agree. I think if they did have a good striker, we'd have been done tonight. Absolutely done. We're a shower of shite, lads. I'm sorry to say it, but we are not the team we once were. Far from it. And things are only going to get better when we make a decision and we make a change and we get rid of the manager. And if the players don't improve because of that, then get rid of them too. Sir Alex Ferguson would have never tolerated any of this shit. Viking Red comments and says, Pig, you're a legend, mate. Love your rants. Mate, you're bang on. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. James Arnold with a super chat. The change is coming. Time has run out. Surely the board have to make that decision now. Surely they've got to just say, look, it's not working out with Jose Mourinho. We've given him time. This is his third season. All he's got the team playing is shitty football that's just too negative, not entertaining the fans, not even getting the results. If we were getting the results and winning every game 1-0 and grinding out results, but not entertaining the fans, that's one thing, because you're getting results, and it is a results industry at the end of the day. But you're not even doing that. You're not getting the results when we're not entertaining the fans. So I'm sorry, Jose, it's time you did one, pal. It really is. Right, lads and lasses, I'm going to wrap it up there. But to everybody who's joined me, Jolian, Shedders, Yassar H, good to see you, mate, Juventino, Ibrahim, Caroline Conway, thanks so much for getting involved with the live stream tonight. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the garbage that is Manchester United right now. Please let me know your thoughts. Get involved in the comments section. I'm sick and tired of watching this dreary United perform. I really am. Jose Mourinho, I'm sorry. You've got to get out of this club, mate. You really do. The rot has set in. We couldn't bring you back from the rot. That's it. He's gone now. He's decomposing. He's a manager that is just extinct now. I'm sorry. He's lost it. Whatever he had, he has lost it. It seems like it. His last spell at Chelsea, losing the dressing room, getting sacked. This spell at Manchester United, yes, he had a good first season in charge, and yes, we finished second in the league behind an incredible City last year. But since then, it's been terrible. The rot has well and truly set in on Jose at Manchester United. It is time to make the change and cut that rot out, because we're not going to get any better until we've got a captain steering this ship in the right direction. And I don't know who that is, whether it's a Zidane or whether it's a Giggsy or whether it's an Eddie Howe, if you want to go in that direction. You know, give it to somebody young and progressive and somebody who is not afraid to play nice football and go for it. Then if you do that, then at least we'll be on the right track, and it might take X amount of years to get back to where we should be, but at least we will be on that right track, and we will be giving the fans some form of entertaining football to watch. Whereas right now, we've just got Jose in charge, playing negative defensive slow football with a bunch of overhyped, overpaid, prima donna losers, and it is just depressing at Manchester United. Just depressing. Right, I'm going to wrap it up there. To everybody who's tuned into the video tonight, thanks so much for stopping by. Do us a favour, chuck us a like on it. Get your thoughts in. If I've not replied to your comments tonight, I apologise. There's lots coming through. But please do get involved in the comments. Little shout out to Hammer and Talk here. He says, yeah, the Pig is the rawest United channel on YouTube. Thanks so very much there, Hammer and Talk. Check his channel out, actually. It's a West Ham channel. Don't check out the last video, actually, where they beat us. No, I'm joking. He's a legend. Thanks so much for stopping by there, mate. Really appreciate it. Right, I'm going to wrap it up there. To everybody who's tuned in, thanks so much. I'll see you very soon. Sort yourselves out, United. Come on, let's sack this guy now. He doesn't actually deserve to be United manager anymore. He's not getting us playing good football. He's not got us in the right direction. All he is doing is stinking up the place with the Portuguese vibes. It's too depressing for United. Sort it out. I'll see you very soon. You can follow me on social media at Mr. Flying Pig HD. Take it easy. Have yourselves a good one. And Jose Mourinho, sort your freaking life out, man.